Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are so thrilled to have back in the studio for many different types of interviews. We've been starting, I think, when Mia Rosemary was running the show here with Wounded Warrior Homes. Now we got Rick Espitia. He is the president and executive director of the organization. How you doing there, Rick?
Doing well. Exciting to be here today, so thank you very much.
Well, we love talking about what Wounded Warrior Homes has been doing. When was it founded?
December of 2010, so we've been in existence for 15 years now.
For 15 years. What's the mission?
Our mission is to serve veterans in transition from their active military duties into their ultimate civilian lives, wherever that may be.
Right. And do you do that through different services? Is it through housing? Is it through mental health, job skills, life skills, all of the above?
I want to say all of the above, but to amplify that a little bit more is that in February, we started to look at our programs. What was now relevant to our veterans, and we based it on data from the VA and other organizations. So we had put in place our plan to actually launch 2 new programs, and we took our traditional transitional housing, which was our mainstay, and I would like to bring out that we have provided 52,000 nights of housing for veterans over those last 15 years. So we reorganized, or rebranding, if you want to call it that,
right,
to give us more relevance into the community that we serve, which is our veterans, right? And those other veteran groups serving other veterans. So our number one program that we have launched is our Operation Mental Health. It came into existence on about 1 August. We have teamed now with another major mental health group called Serene Health Group. So whatever I can't take, they're the overflow. And they have a specialized program called PRTMS with Mindset. And we have about 8 veterans who have already signed up for that program. It's going to be exciting. And all of our programs are at no cost to the veterans. And so the agreement that we have with Serene is that they have to take our guys within 3 days, treat them, and there's no co-payment or other costs from Wounded Warrior Homes or Serene Health to our veterans.
No, that's a great accomplishment. I'm assuming you served as well, Rick?
Oh, yes.
And where did you serve?
So that was from the U.S. Marine Corps many years ago. I think I took my commission in 1976, and do the math, and I finished up in 1996 and finished up as Lieutenant Colonel. So the Marines and the sailors and the Army, Air Force, they're all really important to me.
Well, thank you for your service. Really appreciate that as well. When we talk about mental health, we were just mentioning it to some of the folks that were on the shows earlier, especially the YMCA of San Diego County. We know that we've never seen such a crisis in mental health in our country's history, especially with the youth, grade school kids and all that. But unless you are in a different solar system, we know it's a challenge with the military. That's an understatement of the world. You've been a veteran, of course, and it wasn't like there weren't mental health issues when you were serving, but it's different. Is it more exasperated now or not?
I think there's 2 components of where we are today with mental health. So in the very beginning of my career, nobody had a mental health issue. They may have had them, but it wasn't known.
That's right.
And so as time went on, and even in my work with some of the other organizations, we had figured out that to go to a mental health counselor or therapist, if you were active duty, was a kiss of death on your career.
That's right.
And so we had teamed up with and we're working with others to provide mental health care outside of the VA or the military program. So it would never hit the record.
Right. And it's too bad, correct?
Yes. And so now what's happening is that we're seeing in the veterans that we see and, our other home, and I want to touch on this because it's mental health.
Please.
Is our second program is the Women's Veterans Center. And so we have taken women who are homeless and brought them into our program. And we started to look at those women and what they went through. And it was 33% of all homeless veterans have had an issue with MST. Now, you and I would, or myself, I know it now, but prior it was, what the heck is MST? Military sexual trauma. Key, crucial as to how we work with the veterans in our program, because and I want to say not by accident, but we have all women working with our women veterans because of that trauma. And so MST is military sexual trauma that they've incurred. And we have an all-female staff that works with them to be able to work better and to help them get through that. Now, the other facet that I saw was that our women right now in our homes have children. My major concern was, having been in the military, how do you have children go through that environment, deployed to war, et cetera, and not be traumatized themselves? So that's a new facet of mental health that we're now looking at, how to provide mental health for the children of the women in our programs.
Yeah, I know, and much has been written. I've been fortunate enough to work pretty closely with the San Diego Military Advisory Council, SDMAC, and which you're very familiar with, of course. And we talk about this a lot, is about some of the mental health challenges and so forth, and especially the spouses that are here with their kids, male or female, that it's very important for those folks who are the warfighter who is deployed, that they don't hopefully are knowing that their families are taken care of here, correct?
Yes.
Talk about how important that is.
It's really important. So what I've often said to others, it's easier, not easy, it's easier for the active duty military member to deploy.
That's right.
So the Marines, especially the Marines in the Army, I mean, they're in the dirt face to face. Well, they train for that. And so the analogy is football. And so if you practice, you die to get in that game. In the Army and the Marine Corps, they fight to be deployed. Now, they're anxious, they're ready, they're well-trained. Now, on the other side of that family equation, you've got the mom and the kids. They haven't been through the training. They don't know what the
dad and the kids in some cases.
Or, the reverse. Mm-hmm. And so they don't know what to expect. And so I believe that with my experience, it's been that the family members left behind have it more difficult and to higher the anxiety for them because they don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. We're chatting with Rick Espitia. He is the president and executive director of Wounded Warrior Homes. You're also chair of the board. Is that correct?
Yes.
You got a lot of hats you're wearing over here. Well, that's okay. And how long have you been in this position as president and executive director?
The president and executive director, I was the chairman and the president since July of 2024.
Right.
As the executive director, February 1, 2025, this year.
Okay, very, very good. And probably hit the ground running in some areas and sprinting. And some days it seems like it's been, about 7 months. And some days, has it been 17 years I've been doing this? Yeah. Exactly. I want to get back to the Women's Veterans Center. How many women are served in that?
We have, right now we're in our pilot program. So we have one house, 3-bedroom, and it's 2 families. And that third room is a learning center. So we've resourced it with 3 computers, materials and supplies, laser printers for the kids and the moms to be able to go through school and work through the program and have everything there self-contained. We provide the food, the mental health, everything the mom veteran could absolutely ask for. It's there.
Right. So, what have you seen that has been sort of the most, challenging of what you are dealing with, and the most rewarding?
I guess I'm going to start with the most challenging. And the most challenging is now to make it publicly known that we have this program. It's critical. And so the television stations and newspapers all across San Diego have been a tremendous value to us, because we've been on TV in the last couple of months, about 7 times, newspapers, magazines, everything. So we're getting our name out there for the program.
Right.
And then the next challenging item that we need to tackle is, of course, the fundraising.
Right.
And because we have such all-inclusive services to that program of the Women's Center, it's expensive, but we think it's worth it. And we're getting a lot of traction. So we're really happy that, we've got one house now. Hopefully in the mid part of or the early part of next year, we're going to open up a second house, and away we go.
No, that's great. Rick, when we come back from break, I want to talk about the transitional housing program with the Food Pantry. We know food insecurity is a challenge in our region, regardless if you're in the military or not. Some 800,000 people will go through not having 3 nutritious meals during a day, no different than some in the military. And we'll talk about that as well. We always leave some time, Rick, at the second half of the show. What can we do to support your efforts? Certainly, don't be bashful. Obviously, money doesn't grow on trees. If it does, then someone's been hiding this money tree from me. And whatever our listeners can do to support your efforts, just let us know. When we return with Rick Espitia, he is the president and executive director of the Wounded Warrior Homes. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast. In our 20th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. For 60 years, been doing great things for people living in San Diego County, and we will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Just so thrilled to have a return appearance by this wonderful group, Wounded Warrior Homes. Rick Espitia is the president and executive director of the organization. We were just chatting about first part of the show, our Operation Mental Health program that you folks are doing in the Women's Veterans Center. But sort of, the bread and butter has been around for quite a while, is the transitional housing program and the Food Pantry. Talk about that.
So over the years, we have, like I said earlier, 52,000 room nights of housing for veterans. That's incredible. That's a high number.
Yeah.
So that's given us the experience now of how to do it really well. Who do we take in? There's certain individual veterans that we wish we could help better.
Right.
We can't. So we will refer them to an outside agency, primarily those with substance abuse issues.
Right.
We don't have the staff to do that. But our traditional transitional housing group, that's amazing. We take all our veterans, except for one, is in a educational program right now. And that one that we have with us is working with the other veterans to help them transition, because he's been through that whole entire program himself earlier.
Right.
So it's a great fit. We look for counselors to help us with our veterans, because I have experience, but I don't have all the experience. Others will have better experience in other areas. So we bring them all in. And it's amazing what we can do for the veterans in our homes. We make them go through and we progress those veterans in their program to keep them on track, because that's their goal. Their goal, it's not our goal, it's their goal. We just help them keep them on track. The Food Pantry, they can come into the Food Pantry as often as they want. They typically do it once a week because of their busy schedules. They go in the back, they pick out the food, the dry goods, the refrigerator goods, the freezer goods. They leave with the food and the toiletries and the personal items that they need. And it's pretty good. If they want to buy candy on their own, they can do that. But we provide great protein foods, great vegetables, dry goods, and even the dairy and juices, so that you can live off of that pantry food forever.
Yeah, and listen, food insecurity is a big deal in our region. We were saying that right before the break, Rick, as you well know, and that means that nobody, is exempt from this, including the military, correct, and veterans.
Correct. And so we got a call, it's about the fourth year in a row now, from the Elks Club. And the Elks Club goes, "Hey, Rick, I want to talk to so-and-so and so-and-so, Monica and Rose, because we want to do a shopping event for you just before Thanksgiving and another one just before Christmas. And Rick, we got more money this year." And so I go, that's always good. So instead of $1,000 for each holiday, in total, it's $4,000. $2,000 worth of food is a lot. It's not as much as that'll solve the problem.
Right.
But we are now going to have a special shopping day for our veterans to come in, get the holiday food that they need for themselves if they're in the home, or their families if they're not in our official transitional housing program. Looking forward to it. We're going to put that on our website like any day now to arrange for an appointment if they're not a regular part of our organization, so they can go shopping. But we realize that with the SNAP program and other programs that are being hit, possibly being hit, the food banks around San Diego County, and I can include ourselves, our food pantry is going to help to serve a lot of families.
Yeah, you bring up a good point with many of the cuts happening, at the Fed level, whether it's in, the food, whether it's health, whether it's in literacy. Listen, nonprofits have always had to collaborate and be experts at collaboration. If you work in a silo, that's a good way of going out of business, right?
Correct.
But now even more so with this type of collaboration is equally critical. Sort of helps, I guess, when people are in the same boat and realize it. But it is so important. You guys have always worked very, very closely with different groups in this area. Who are some of your key partners?
Well, other food banks would be the San Diego Food Bank. People who donate food, groups who donate food to us, the Church of Latter-day Saints, every 2 weeks they're in there dropping food off. A lot of individual donors. We have grants and donors who have given us funds, not just food.
Right.
And we can take that and we can buy the food on a weekly basis for what we need. So we kind of measure out what the veterans are going through.
Right.
And we'll make sure we always have that.
Yeah. Do they go through any type of programs if they want to get back into the workforce on, learning new skills, AI or whatever? So
the new skills, that's been very light in our program curriculum.
Right.
We're trying to spend more time with that. We're working with another small group for AI education. So that's in development right now. And that individual has an extensive background with Google as an IT and software. So he's putting a program together that it's going to be 6 phases that'll help take our veterans through the beginning of how to use AI properly, how to create a resume, how to respond to a job posting so that we can see using AI, did I answer in my resume and my cover letter, all of the aspects of the job description that's being circulated. So we're working on that, probably hope to kick that off in about another 2 weeks. And then from there, we're going to have AI being tailored for a program for the children in the program.
That's nice. Well, it's with us whether we like it or not, and it's going to be with us for many, many, many years. And it's like a lot of these new technologies. Once they start getting steam, they're off to the races. And good for you for doing that. It's going to be pretty much a requirement of anyone moving forward at a job to know some aspect of AI.
Right. And our hopes is to teach them not how to take shortcuts.
Yes.
And to do that, which leads to unintended consequences,
right.
But to be able to do things the right way. How do you proof your data in your report so that you're putting together not only your thoughts, but how they're said best so you can apply them in.
So, Rick, what can we do to support Wounded Warrior Homes? Contributions always welcome, to say the least.
Contributions are always welcome. So go to our website at woundedwarriorhomes.org, and there's a little button that says Donate Now. Love that little button. You can give a small amount,
right,
or a larger amount.
Just give.
Just give.
That's right.
And then the other way is that we seeking some highly skilled volunteers to help out in the office space, and also that we have a couple of highly qualified mental health professionals who are now volunteering. That's going to be tremendous because as our program grows, especially the women's program, I want to have women counselors working with those families.
Now, is that on the website where you say, here's our volunteer need, and the ones you just established or told me right now, is that on the website?
It's not done on the website completely, but there is a volunteer page, and you can list what your skill sets are.
Yeah.
I get a direct mail from every applicant, and then I will call them as soon as I can.
Right.
But some of the best, all of our volunteers and even the therapists have come through that website volunteer application process.
That's great. Shout out the website one more time.
woundedwarriorhomes.org.
Well, Rick, Espitia, just can't thank you enough for coming in and sharing another episode of our Spotlight on the Community show, Wounded Warrior Homes. Would love to have the next time you're in, bring in someone that's benefited from your services. We don't want to break any privacy laws. We don't want to break any laws. However, a lot of folks love to say, I want to tell my story. I want to tell my story because this is what Wounded Warrior Homes has done for us. And if that makes sense for you, we'd love to do that.
That makes sense, and we can do it. Be glad to do it.
Okay, good. I'll look forward to getting an email from you or Carmen or something like that. We'll set you something up after the first of the year and bring in, we got plenty of microphones here, bring in a couple of folks who benefited from your services.
Love that.
You bet. Wounded Warrior Homes, Rick Espitia, he is the president and executive director. I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast in our 20th year, brought to you by the fine folks of Mission Fed Credit Union. 60 years plus of working in the fields of food insecurity or the homeless or Alzheimer's. They're just great supporters for anybody living in San Diego County. And to our audience, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.